You have the philosophy, now you need the practice. You've learned the frameworks. You understand the principles. You know what matters. You know what to remove. You know what to build. But here's the question that actually determines whether any of this changes your life. What do you do tomorrow morning? Because knowledge without practice is just entertainment. Understanding without action is just theory. And frameworks without daily implementation are just ideas that made you feel good for 10 minutes. You need a bridge, a way to translate everything you've learned into something you actually do every single day, before the world has a chance to pull you back into its patterns. And that bridge is your morning. Not because mornings are magic, but because mornings are yours. Before the emails, before the obligations, before the day happens to you instead of you happening to the day. If you've completed the journey so far and you're wondering, okay, now what? How do I actually live this? This video is for you. Today, we're going to talk about the daily practice that makes everything else possible, the ritual that embodies the philosophy, the habit that keeps you aligned when the world tries to knock you off course. It's called the morning practice, and it's how you turn everything you've learned into the life you actually live. Let's start by understanding why the morning is the leverage point, why this is the practice that makes all the others possible. Your morning sets your orientation. It's the calibration point. The moment when you decide, am I living according to my values today, or am I just reacting to whatever comes at me? Think about what usually happens. You wake up, you immediately check your phone, you see the news, the emails, the messages, the world's agenda for you. And before you've even gotten out of bed, you've already handed your attention to everyone else. You've already let the world tell you what's important, what to think about, what to worry about, what to do. The morning practice interrupts that pattern. It says, before I give my attention to the world, I'm going to give it to myself, to what I value, to who I want to be today. This isn't selfish, it's strategic. Because if you don't choose your direction in the morning, the day will choose it for you. Let me show you what I mean. Without a morning practice, you're reactive. Someone sends you an email, you respond. Something goes wrong, you fix it. An opportunity appears, you chase it. You're not bad at what you do, you're just constantly responding, reacting, operating from someone else's agenda instead of your own. But with a morning practice, you start from center. You remind yourself what matters. You reconnect with your values. You set your intention. And then when the day pulls you off course, and it will, you have a reference point. You can come back to what you decided mattered before the chaos started. This is the difference between living intentionally and just surviving, between being directed by your values and being directed by your inbox. The morning practice is your daily reset, your recalibration, your chance to remember who you're trying to be before the world tries to turn you into something else. Now let me show you what the morning practice actually looks like. And it's simpler than you think. This isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. It's not about ice baths or elaborate routines. It's not about spending 2 hours on yourself before you can start your day. It's about 20 minutes, sometimes less. But 20 minutes that are completely yours, protected, non-negotiable. Here's the structure. 3 parts. Each builds on what you've learned. Part 1, the stillness. 5 minutes. You sit quietly, no phone, no stimulation, just you and your breath. This isn't meditation in the spiritual sense. It's just creating space, letting your mind settle, allowing yourself to arrive in the day instead of exploding into it. You learned about the sacred ordinary in video 16. This is where you practice it. 5 minutes of being present, noticing you're alive, breathing, here. Part 2, the values. Check. 5 minutes. You review your values, the ones you defined in video 13. Ask yourself, which of my values needs attention today? Where might I be tested? Where will I need to choose alignment over convenience? Maybe today you'll be tempted to compromise your value of integrity for an easier outcome. So you prepare yourself. You remind yourself why integrity matters to you. You rehearse what alignment looks like. This is how you stay oriented. You learned about the inner scorecard, the true north. This is where you calibrate your compass before you start navigating. Part 3, the intention. 5 to 10 minutes. You write down one thing, just one. The thing that, if you do it today, means the day was aligned with your values. Not the thing you have to do, not the thing that's most urgent, the thing that matters most according to your compass. Maybe it's a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's protected time for something you value. Maybe it's choosing rest when the world wants you to produce just one thing, and you commit to it before the day has a chance to fill up with everyone else's priorities. This is the framework. 20 minutes, stillness, values, intention, that's it. But those 20 minutes change everything because you're not sleepwalking anymore. You're choosing. Now let's talk about what gets in the way, because you'll have every reason not to do this. Obstacle 1, I don't have time. Yes, you do. You have time to scroll. You have time to check email. You have time for what you prioritize. The question isn't whether you have 20 minutes. The question is, are you willing to protect 20 minutes for yourself before you give the rest of the day to everyone else? This isn't selfish. It's foundational. You can't give from an empty cup. You can't live aligned when you never pause to check your alignment. Obstacle 2, it doesn't feel productive. Correct. It's not productive in the sense of producing output. It's productive in the sense of producing clarity. And clarity determines the quality of everything else you do. You can be busy all day and accomplish nothing that matters. Or you can be intentional for 20 minutes and make decisions that actually align with your values. Which is more productive? Obstacle 3, I don't know if it's working. You're looking for the wrong signals. This practice doesn't create dramatic external results. It creates internal alignment. You'll notice it in small ways. You'll catch yourself before you say yes to something that violates your values. You'll choose the hard right thing instead of the easy wrong thing. You'll feel less reactive and more grounded. Those aren't quantifiable, but they're everything. The morning practice isn't about achieving more, it's about living aligned. And alignment is what makes achievement meaningful. Let me tell you what happens when you make this practice non-negotiable. At first, it'll feel awkward. You'll sit there thinking, I should be doing something. Your brain will want stimulation, action, productivity. Let it complain. Keep sitting. After a week, you'll start to crave it. Those 20 minutes become your anchor, the thing that keeps you steady when everything else is chaos. After a month, you'll notice something remarkable. You're making better decisions, not because you're smarter, but because you're more aligned. You're saying no to things that don't matter. You're saying yes to things that do. You're choosing based on your values instead of reacting based on urgency. And after 6 months, you'll look back and realize this practice didn't just change your mornings. It changed your life. Because the person who starts their day with stillness, values, and intention becomes a different person than the one who starts with email, news, and reaction. They're calmer, clearer, more aligned, more themselves. And that difference compounds every single day. That's the power of the morning practice. It's not what you do in those 20 minutes. It's who you become by doing them. Here's what I need you to understand. Everything you've learned, the frameworks, the principles, the philosophy, it all comes down to this. What do you do tomorrow morning? Because tomorrow morning is when you choose between reacting and creating, between someone else's agenda and your own, between living aligned and living scattered. 20 minutes, stillness, values, intention. That's the practice that turns philosophy into life. You have the map. Now walk the path. Starting tomorrow morning, the morning practice is waiting. Now begin.